so that everybody that couldn't be with us in the middle of the day, which I must say that this is a really high success rate of moving our training to the daytime. So this excites me a lot. I've heard from some of you guys that it's great for now, and then once school starts, we'll have to like readjust to say, what does life look like? I know that here in about 4 to 6 weeks, everyone's going to be saying, am I homeschooling? Am I sending them to school? What does life look like? We're going to be wrestling a little bit. So I'm hoping it looks like Day's working for y'all. Y'all tell me, put it out there. Is it, oh, copy school? What is that? So if you love the daytime and this going, I'm super glad that we were listening and y'all were like, this is best and I want my night back, because it did get crazy. I think it's fascinating, right? That when we went into COVID, everyone needed that gathering, and I think that we still do, and we hovered over it because we lost so much, and so we needed something to kind of say, this is mine and I need to be gathering. And now over the months we still need the gathering, but we're adjusting to say, okay, I got enough of all of you, now I need to come back over here into this space. So I love that we are a team that can be very fluid, and a team that can adjust and be innovative to say, this is working, this isn't working, let's make some adjustments. So I love you guys for that. And I'm assuming that Pat is on with us. It might be truly Tommy, but I love Tommy's face because I feel like he's sternly looking at me to make sure that I get all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. So I feel like I'm in the principal's office, but I know I'm not. So Tommy, we love you, even though it might be Pat behind that little face, but you make me sit up straighter with that picture. Okay, here we go. We just got off the Jewel call. Let me get started there and tell you so many incredibly exciting things that are going on. First of all, I just kind of want to share, they gave us some incredible stats, and I want you to hear this. I want you to be some of the first ones to get to hear it. But in April, May, and June, we knew that those were like epic months for us. That is literally where the world changed for us. COVID happened, Plexus adjusted, just like I was just sharing with y'all as a team, how we adjust to say what works, what's not working. Are we listening to our people, the population? Plexus did that very well, and we saw this huge momentum happen, and all of us are benefiting from the generosity and the innovation of our executives. And so that's a really big deal. But 150,000 new ambassadors in those 3 months. And they had really a lot of fun with us of sharing, like, it's the population of cities. And they were like, it's the population of Sonoma, California, Pasadena, Texas, Hollywood, Florida. Like the entire population enrolled in Plexus in those 3 months. But I think that what is even more fascinating is what happened in June, because we're just continuing to add on to that. Here we are in July, we're moving. Everyone has really big goals for yourself, your family, your teams, your future. This passion and belief is coming deep inside of you to see what this business can do to change people's lives, health-wise and financially. And so we're just continuing in that really heavy, quick momentum. But one thing that really stood out was that in June, so 150,000 in 3 months, but in June, we saw 72,000 new ambassadors in 1 month. 70, so almost half of what we saw in 3 months, we saw in our last month. And on June 30th, the last day of the month, we saw 12,000 new people join. And we saw that a lot in our business too. If you kind of look at, we had over 400 ambassadors in our organization as a team in June, and so many of those happened at the very last minute. In fact, we saw people ranking within 1 day of leaping into new ranks because of the ambassadors that were coming in. And so that's fascinating to think through. And I want you, and I'm going to talk about one thing that Ryan spoke to us about, Ryan Anderson, our Chief Sales Officer. and it's very true, but it's this belief that you have. And it's not only that, I am hearing you in all of our different accountability groups, talking to my leaders, hearing about your teams and things that are going on. You have this new confidence. And that's really what he was speaking about this morning, is the new confidence and the new belief that this surge has done to every one of us. But they really had these historical moments of, 72,000 is the highest recruiting day in the history of Plexus Worldwide, in that happening. And we were, it was the highest ever awarded in points being paid out to all of us in the history of our company. It's the most that has been paid for rank up payouts, the most in the history of the company. And we just all want to continue to see that happen. I know that many of you have your eyes on really high goals of continuing those rank ups. And what I love is that you have this fire in you for your new ambassadors to get on that bandwagon and be able to see fast start rank ups happen, and how that's going to bless them financially, but also bless them with the simplicity of our system, that they can do this business. And so those things are all really, really exciting. They gave us some stats on the jewels, which many of you are running hard after that right now. 96 new emeralds in June, 42 new sapphires in June, and 21 diamonds. So I get super excited whenever I hear things like that. I hope that that gives you this incredible hope. But what excites me is that this is not for a few people. This is for the people that have vision, determination, consistency, and they run after what the Lord has shown them can happen, and shows you that you are equipped and that you have that potential, and anybody can run after that. And that's where I get super excited, is hearing numbers like that, knowing how many of you right now are consistently having grit and determination, growing, seeing the vision, pouring that into your teams, pouring that into your new ambassadors, and you're going to be part of those numbers in our future. So that's really, really exciting. So this is what was asked. Genevieve, one day I'm going to say it without having to say it 3 times, stumbling. But one thing that she asked Ryan was, what do you think the one thing was? What is the one thing that is working for us to see what we're seeing in our company? We know, we've heard it. I've heard it for 7 years, that you're with the right company, the right products at the right time. Like, it has been inbred in me since the moment that I said yes. But I never believed it so strongly as in 2020, with everything that is going on in our world, in our country, in our communities, in our churches, in our schools, like everything. As I see people that are still scrambling, that lost jobs, that are looking for jobs, jobs are being questioned. Are we hiring? Are we not hiring? Families, I just spoke with someone today that is a hairdresser, and she said, I have to be behind the chair. But she was just with someone yesterday that now has COVID. All these questions, we are in the right place at the right time, giving hope to people with their health, their wellness, their finances, and their future, and helping them to have a little bit of peace. And that's a really, really big deal for us. And so I'm excited that we get to be the messengers of that. But the one thing that he said when she was like, had my pen and paper, y'all, if y'all could see my scribbles, like I'm writing so fast because I want to get everything, because I want to tell y'all. And I want to remember. That's how I remember, is writing. And so, but when she asked that, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what's he going to tell us? It's going to be some magical system. It's going to be something that he says, and it's going to like change everything for me today, right now. And guess what it was? Belief. He said, without a doubt, it is this belief that has been birthed in every single ambassador. The small wins that they've seen have created small wins that have created high momentum, that has created historical moments. And that is so true. It's this confidence that every single person is getting in them. It's whenever you see, okay, let me just give you an example. We had so many new ambassadors last month and so many that ranked to silver in a month. They were all fast start silvers. It's my first time to be privileged to coach a group of brand new silvers. I've never just coached from a leaderboard perspective so many brand new silvers. And this is what's exciting, because I reached out to every one of them and said, hey, I know you've never heard of this, but we kind of do this thing every month. And if you're on the leaderboard, you get to be gifted with this VIP diamond call that is uncensored, like not recorded, very intimate conversation. And then from that, if you desire, you can be in an accountability group, and it's just us holding each other accountable, keeping each other supportive, all this kind of stuff. Do you want to participate? Half of my new silvers, now some of our new silvers have been with us, but half of them said, you know, like, thanks for reaching out first. Like, that's super cool that you've reached out to me. And yeah, like, I just thought that I would try this, and I never expected to have so many people like be interested in what I was doing and want to be a part of it. It's really cool that I got these 3 friends to do this, but yeah, I'll try out the accountability group because it seems pretty simple. And as long as, like, how are you going to keep me accountable? But it was this whole thing of, yeah, I'm kind of a silver now. Like, somebody told me to do a first post, and somebody told me to kind of get into a 3-way message and to invite my friends to a girls' night out. And all of a sudden I got this money. It was kind of easy. Yeah, I think I'll be accountable and see what I can do this month. That is confidence. That is belief that happens overnight when we're doing our part to onboard those new ambassadors and to share with them the simplicity of doing this business, not giving them too much to where they're overwhelmed, but giving them just the next step of success. It's like what Ryan was speaking of. It's the small wins that lead to the small wins that lead to the bigger wins that lead to this mass momentum. And it gets you excited. And then as a leader, we realize I've got a system, and it's simple and it's working. And then we get even more excited, which gives us more confidence. Do you see how that just builds? It's super, super exciting to see it. So that leads me into what we're going to be talking about, which is samples and our new Engage app. And I hope that you have all downloaded it. You should have gotten an email if you're a new ambassador. And I'm trying to pull mine up real quick so that you can see it. It's super, super cool. It was rolled out at convention, and everybody, whenever you sign up as a new ambassador, and everyone who signed up for convention, but all of your people that you're bringing on this month and last month, they get 3 free samples, 3 credits to send it out to friends, which is really, really exciting. But this is the crazy thing. And I love how it was shared with us. And once again, I love that Ryan clued in that we were doing this training today so that he could give me some really good stuff to tell you guys. I'm like, this is perfection. Thank goodness we moved to Wednesday mornings, because if we would have done this Tuesday night, I would have missed it all. But, which, guys, I didn't know he was going to talk about this, but this is what I loved, because I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so true. But he said, we literally have given you confidence in the palm of your hand. We have literally handed over the reins for you to build belief and have confidence right here. And the example that he gave that I absolutely loved was, what if, and we've all heard it, if we were in our perfect communities today and didn't have social distancing, and you're not having on a mask, and you get to be in the grocery store and you're chit-chatting with people in the line, and you meet this unbelievable rock star that has really incredible energy, and y'all are conversing and having conversation, and you realize, man, I really want her on my team. I love her energy, or I love her authenticity, or like a lot of introverts have this incredible wisdom, and you're like, she's just a wise person. Like, I want to know her better. in the past, what would we do? We would say, hey, are you on Facebook? I want to friend you on Facebook. Now we literally can be talking to them about our story, gut health, what we're going on in COVID, all these different things. And we can immediately say, I would love to send you a sample. Can I get your information? And being able to put them into your confidence system in the palm of your hand literally starts the process of conversation and communication with that person without her walking out the door and you being like, I didn't get anything. Or some of the things that would happen to me in the past is I would get their information. I'd be like, okay, make sure you friend me. I just sent you a friend request. And I can't find them. And I try to message them and it's silent. Has that happened to y'all? So now you've captured them and you've been able to get their information and you're able to put it in and you get to start the conversations and move from there. Another thing that totally just made me kind of light up, because I'm a numbers person, I love percentages, I love to go, oh wow, that's super powerful, is that we all know that everything is in follow-up, right? We all know that follow-up is key to close sales. And most sales, 80% and greater in sales, happen in that 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th through the 12th follow-up. But right now, what they're seeing with our app and the conversion rate of our app, which we've only had for a month now, is that we're seeing a 30% conversion rate of them getting a sample and being able to convert them into a customer or an ambassador. So 3 out of 10 corporate wide is what we're seeing, but we're moving towards, and they're going to build a campaign around, they're really wanting us to get to an 80% conversion rate from sending that sample. That is magnificent of talking about confidence in the palm of your hand, of knowing that when you send that, how quickly you can convert that. And that's what we're actually going to be training on today that I want to be sharing with you about, is being able to get them into the system and closing that rate and moving that conversion rate up by doing that. So super, super cool. Everybody knows you get those three, you get the 3 samples. When they sign up as an ambassador, they get 3 free samples, so that the whole giving just continues to go. So I want you to know all those pieces. Now, what I did as I'm listening to this, and I'm going to ask you to do it, hopefully you have a pen and paper right in front of you, is I literally wrote down the people, my new people, and who can have success in learning this process and me helping them through this process. I wrote down my newbies that I want to really help them download the Engage and get started in it, because it's very, very simple of how they go through. And this is the deal, is that so often we get overcomplicated or wordy, or we overwhelm, and this system is very, very straightforward and easy. And whenever you send that sample, guess what? That video goes to them. When they open the video, you get a text that says they opened the video. You know when the sample is shipped. Like, your follow-up process is so much cleaner of walking through that. And if you've ever heard me talk about this, I always say duplication starts from the moment that you start having a conversation with a person. So literally, as you're working through this, and they don't know that they're going to be duplicating what you're doing, but you're literally going to be able to say, this is how easy this process is. It's a very, very simple system. Remember how you and I met and I asked you for your information? That's literally what we're going to do. Do you have 3 friends? Let's get those samples out to them. So loved all of that goodness. The other things that I just want to share with you guys that I want to make sure that y'all have on your calendar, and I already put it on Good to Great. Michelle probably put it out on her page as well, is the Triplex event. August the 3rd. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific, which would be what time Central, guys? Is that 6? Oh, 7 o'clock Central. Triplex event. The registration, you have to register. It is free. It is live. They said it would be about 90 minutes. So kind of, put that in your calendar of how long. Make sure that your new people are registered for that. But they said that this event will be so worth, they said it will be worth $1 million in commissions paid out. Like, it's a huge event. And let me explain to you, because I love that they shared this with us. The whole focus of the event is obviously to talk about our flagship foundational products, but it's to make sharing easier and more appealing than ever for all of our new ambassadors, and how to migrate from sample system into triplex combo. So how to migrate them from, you just tried a slim, but we want to talk to you about the triplex combo. So bringing people in, and whenever they talk about that it's going to be worth our while, I promise you that there will be something attached to that you will want to be at that event that is going to benefit you of growing your business, growing your commission check. So make sure that you're a part of that. Another thing that they really brought out strongly was what they're seeing is triplex combo, 90 days on the triplex combo, 80% of those people and higher become full-time believers, and they will be with you. So whenever we're always talking about retention, we know that we talk about 60 to 90 days and helping them and customer service and doing the system of checking on them on 3, 7, 14, 21, 28 days, all that good stuff that we've talked about. But helping them do that and seeing the rates of that retention, it's well worth your time of giving them that excellent customer service in the beginning and helping them stick with you. Okay. And then the last thing is the book club. And I will be putting that link out there. And they're going to do some really cool surprises as part of the book club. So Traveler's Gift is the book. I think Michelle did the book club maybe 2 years ago, okay, with our teams. And so you may have already read it. It's worth reading it again. It's an incredible book, but I think it's super cool. And this is the other thing, guys. Our whole thing with book clubs is, yes, it's for us. Leaders are readers. We always want to be developing ourselves, learning more, but this is a very cool way for your new ambassadors to engage in community. So they might not be fully engaged yet of wanting to do the business. They're not sure about it. They want to hang low. They're still trying, but they might be huge readers and be like, yeah, that is something I would love to do, is be part of that book club. So it gives you another tool to reach out to your new people, share with them about the book club, add value, and then that just gets them more engaged and more loyal, and that keeps that bond. So it's another really great way to be able to do that. Okay, let's talk about sample posts. Let me see real quick. I'm not even looking at these messages that are coming through. So personally going to do it myself. So Michelle has read it, she's led it, and now she's doing it again because she loves it and she loves the surprises. Okay, daytime. I love that y'all are loving the daytime. Gabi, I know school, it's super scary. Hopefully it is going to be a thing. We're going to stay so incredibly hopeful that somehow in the next 6 to 8 weeks, the world goes back to normal. That is my prayer, is that just at the blink of an eye that everything will go back, right? So let's talk about the samples. Now this is something that Brooke Hemingway, many of you guys know our triple diamond, Brooke Hemingway, and she does incredible coaching and training. There's several of us that are in her training, but she had just a fantastic challenge that she has put out that we're actually going to do as a team, because I got really excited about it. And this is what's crazy, is that we talked about this and we're like, let's talk about doing the samples. And I'll be honest, guys, I'm going to be totally upfront. I am not using my Engage app the way that I should, but you will be seeing me as soon as I'm off of this doing a post about sending out samples using my app and getting people started. So this was a really good push for me, and I'm hoping it's a good push for you. Some of our teams, y'all are already using sample app. Y'all have sample parties going on. Like, you're way ahead of me, and I applaud you. And I'm sorry that maybe if I have not led well, you took the reins and you led, and I love that, and I'm learning from you. But she shared this, and this is what I want you to hear, is the simplicity of the process of doing it. But the big thing is getting a post out there. First and foremost, if you're going to use, this is what I love about it, because it kind of launches us into our app. Like it launches us into using a tool that we have already been told and we have seen will make us successful in our business. And I love to launch areas like this. For me, it takes something in me. I love that I have it and it's super cool, but until someone really pushes me forward to say, I'm going to challenge you in this, that's something like turns a little switch on for me to go, okay, I'm up for the challenge. And it launches me into using a system that I know it's going to be highly successful for my business. And everyone that is on this call, you're on this call because you're wanting to grow. You're on this call because you want to be at Leaders Retreat, and you're on this call because you're leading a team. So let's all do this together. And the thing that really stood out to me that I'm going to just share real quick, and then you're going to see the challenge. I'm going to put the challenge in Passionate Pursuit, is this system is just like our send, share, invite system. It's the exact same thing, but it's a little bit backwards of invite, send, and share, right? So we're actually inviting them. Uh-oh. Hopefully y'all are still there. I just lost y'all. I just had a line come through. Did I just lose y'all? There you are. Hello. Is doing the same thing and seeing the system and the process of what's going on, of inviting them to try the sample, sending them information as the sample is being transported to them, and then literally preparing the way for them to join you immediately. And what I love about this challenge, and we're going to be challenged to send out at least 10 samples. Now you have 3 free ones. That means that you're going to have to bring more samples in. You might mail samples if you have samples at home. I'm actually going to purchase more samples so that I have everything on my system, because I want to be able to use the system as a prospecting system. So you do it the best way that is for you, of being able to get that information in there and getting 10 samples out. And then a week from tomorrow, so next Thursday, we are doing a sip and sample event. I think that we will do a daytime and an evening event. So depending on if people are working or have kiddos at home, whichever time works for them. And it will be a 30-minute event. It will be a very quick event, but it will be everyone that we are actually sending samples to. We're inviting them to that event. And if we have not closed them to join us prior to that, we will close them that night or that afternoon in this sip and sample. So this is what we're going to do, is that we're going to post a selfie, a picture, whatever it is that you want to do, share about that you want to send out samples. But I want you to understand the system and the process of what happens. Now, if you're doing it in your app, a lot of the information comes through. So you put their information in, they ship the sample, they send them a video, you know that the video is being watched, you can send a text to them, etc. The big thing that Brooke has shared, that she has already done this, she has tested the system herself, and now she's sharing it for everyone to be able to benefit from. And the whole process is understanding the process of everything that we've been doing right now. So that is just like the send, share, invite that we work through. So whenever you send the sample, you're also going to message them and share a video with them and ask them to watch that video, prior to their sample even getting to them watching that video, and then talking to them, asking them, just like what we do today, asking them, what are their health goals? Do they have any health issues? Really be a great listener. If there's different things that are going on with them, go find a testimony that is relevant to what is going on in their world. Sharing that with them. So you're literally walking them through a process, making sure that they understand that that sample it's a taste test is what it is. It's not going to do anything for them just overnight, but it is allowing them to sample some of the goodness of what you're introducing them to. So being able to walk them through that, they're going to get that sample, they're going to try that sample, but because you've been having this interactive, very proactive conversation with them. You've learned about them, you learned what their health goals are, you've maybe have shared a story with them. You now even know which welcome pack to even share with them that would be a suggestion. So even like with the girls night out events, right? In our girls night out events, we're doing that same thing where we're asking questions, we're finding out health concerns, we're putting them into a three-way chat, and we're continuing that conversation. The sample system is that same process. So I don't want us to overcomplicate it. I want us to keep it very, very simple of being able to do that. This is the thing that I want you to hear. Your new ambassadors that you have, you're still going to be holding their hand through the process. One thing that she shared that I absolutely loved that I want you to hear, because I just think it's genius, to be honest, is you have samples. I'm going to load mine up with more samples, but actually when you have a new ambassador, and it might be somebody that you even got in June that you want to say, man, I want to walk through this process with. And that's actually the people that I wrote down whenever I'm hearing from corporate and them talking about the power of confidence in the palm of your hand, is using some of your samples for your newbies to say, hey, I've got 3 simple samples. Who are 3 girlfriends that you would love to try this? And doing that sample process for them. This is the cool thing. The people that I wrote down are people that still have not wanted to engage yet. They haven't wanted to do a girls' night out event. They've not wanted to do the business, the referral program. They're like, that's super cool, but they haven't acted on it. But I'm excited. Like, I just talked to one of my girls this morning that's been with me for 6 weeks now, that I really want to be doing this business. But I've sent out to her to say, hey, I have 3 samples. I'd love to send, to 3 of your girlfriends. This is the deal, guys, that makes this so magnificent, is that when we send it out and they love it and we get into a 3-way chat, we have the conversations, exact same system that I just told you, which I will post about that. So you'll have the system right in front of you, is that now my Katie, that I want to be a business builder, when she gets those 3 people and we convert those 3 people, guess what? Then I can really get her to download the Engage app, and she has 3 of her own free samples. So I invested in her to make her a believer. We converted those people, and now she's like, I'm ready to do this, kind of like my silvers that are now in my accountability group going, hey, I just had 3 friends, and yeah, this is a pretty easy business, and I love the money. One of my brand new ambassadors this morning didn't know commissions went out. I was like, have you looked at your bank account? Do you realize that you have money? She came back and told me her dollar amount. It blew her mind. That's what we want to do. So you literally have the ability to bless your people, give 3 free samples, get them out to their 3 friends, convert them through this process, and then help them download, and they've got another 3 samples to send out. Does that make sense? So be ready. Do y'all have any questions around that, of how it works, what you need to do, how to, I'm going to have copy in the post of what to say in your message, how to send out the message, what's the process to go through. Are y'all excited about doing a sample challenge? Yes? How many of y'all are already using your Engage app? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, and some of y'all, I can't see your hands. Hopefully they're going up or down. I see Michelle. Okay, perfect, perfect. Good, Robin. Robin, you're like going crazy on it. I'm super excited for you. Okay, any questions? Oh, Kylie's been using it. All right, Kylie. Great, great, great. Any questions around it? Are y'all excited about it? I'm super excited. I personally, many of you who know me know this, that I have to physically see things. I have to understand things. I have to have things tangible. So I hope that this has been a blessing for you. Whenever I put the challenge out there, I think it's all going to come together for you to see everything. The challenge is a blitz challenge. So we will start it this afternoon, and you have until tomorrow night to get your 10 samples out. And that's really what you want your goal to be, is to get 10 samples out into people's hands. We will start this process together of making sure that you're messaging, checking on them, asking them what their story is, giving them a story that's relevant to them, preparing them for the event next week. Because this is the deal. I think everybody on here wants to be a part of Leaders Retreat. And I literally, in my office, have exactly what I need to do to be able to be part of Leaders Retreat and have my seat in a chair reserved for me this month. I was telling my husband this morning, or last night, we were strategizing because I have 3 calls tomorrow, 2 tomorrow and 1 Friday of 3 potentials that I hope I sign all 3 of them. But I was strategizing as to what that looked like, what I was going to do, all the different pieces, because we all can have a seat at Leaders Retreat this month and know, whew, we're in, we're there, and now we're working on our prizes. And the way that you do that, you've got to get your 4 personal recruits. So get those this week. Majority of you that I'm speaking of, some are doing 3 recruits, which is awesome. Majority of you, it looks like, are doing 6 to 10 recruits this month. So you're like already set with that. But getting 4 gets you a seat at the table when you get your 800 points. So doing that, developing silvers, you can develop level 2s and level 3s. That is in my agenda. My agenda is to recruit 6, to develop 4 silvers. So those names I told you to write down, make sure you've got those people so that you can get those developed this month. I have 4 level 2s that I want to help develop them. And then the last thing that you can do to get your 800 points, you need at least 500 PV. My PV is always over 1,000 is just my personal goal. I'm actually over 2,000 in PV, but I can only get to 1,000 with the Leaders Retreat. 500 is an excellent goal if you're trying to get your 800 points. That's going to give you points and rank up. And I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has a rank up to me. So that is going to give you the points of that to hit your 800. So if you have not mapped that out, if it's hard for you to map out because you still haven't understood mapping well, get with your upline, get with me. We want to help you with that because we want you there with us, because I know I'm going to be there, right? And I think you know you're going to be there. So let's be there together and have a big party. Okay, any questions? Everybody good? Does that make sense? Okay. All right, I'm super excited. Be looking for it. Let's see, you can change it. You just have to go through. Okay, I think you're answering somebody else's question, I think, Robin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. It's good to see y'all. I'll see y'all in a minute on the page. I'm going to go post what we're doing. Talk to y'all soon.